My name is Dan Quake Morton, and I'm a professional gamer. Well, since I've been gaming all my life, I started playing Call of Duty 2 and started getting into the competitive scene. Pretty much just playing with all my spare time, devoting my life to the nerdiest of professions. Well, there's a combination of things. There's competitions online, competitions like LAN tournaments, just physically going to the place and playing with your team. Finding a team is one of the harder parts. Well, I first started gaming because my brother purchased Medal of Honor Allied Assault when I was really young. So I started playing then, and he was competitively gaming long before I was. And when he went up to school, he stopped, and I kind of got into it a lot more. It was weird when I started, though, because a lot of people knew who he was, so they would refer to me as his brother, and now he's my brother. Back in 1999, I played for a team, like, just for fun. We were called Elements, and we were all a natural disaster, and I was Earthquake. So in about 2004, I shortened it down just to Quake.
Professional gamer.
Well, my dad being a jock, one called me a nerd. And then the only problem was being up really late. I made a lot of noise, my chair squeaks, and when you're a gamer, you tend to yell a lot when you get killed by random people. We had a tight practice schedule where we had to show up for a specific time every night. We had to be there from about 8 till about 2 in the morning, which when you're in school is kind of a pain. Because one, you have to be there. You're under contract, so you kind of have to show up for a specific number of hours per week to get any sort of monetary compensation. And the problem is it's so repetitive and just not necessary. But when it comes down to it, when you're actually playing in a game, it does make the difference. When you know everything, like you can do it asleep pretty much. One of the big things with competitive gaming, when you want to get on a team, there are certain requirements. It's like going through an interview process. You have to play matches with them, play against the team. You have to communicate properly. So being able to know what the name of everything is on the map, and then being able to call it out with your teammates.
Who's sport than an actual game at this point?
Well, it becomes more like a job than a game. It is a sport because you are on teams, but it's tedious to a point where it's constantly there, and you have to be there. And when you do something as a job, it's no longer fun, which is why I don't competitively game as much as I used to.
What was the most difficult part about gaming professionally?
Devoting all of my time to sitting in an empty server, practicing where to run and when and why. It's just too much time. Too much. Sorry, I lost too much sleep.
What's involved in professional games?
Be mature about it. Don't go around troll and make fun of people. I know behind the internet it's easy to make fun of people, but the best thing to do is just don't be a dick.
Just be yourself, I guess.
Well, if yourself is a dick, then don't be that. Yeah, I've had a few sponsors. My first professional team, we were called Platoon X, and we were sponsored by Ball's energy drink, which is delicious. And we had a sponsor from Razer Gaming, or Razer Zone, sorry, the mouse and keyboard company. They gave us a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm a Logitech man, so I kind of just sent it back. But that's okay. We had to use them for tournaments. We had contracts to sign that stipulated we had to be there for a full season. We had to win a certain amount of matches. At the end of our term with the team, we had to return any products they gave us. So like the mouse and keyboard, we'd have to give back anyway. We had like backpacks, and we had team jerseys, and the majority of them had to go back unless they were customized, like they had our name on the back, which happened with a few. People don't recognize me as a face as much as they do as a name, so I've gone into servers and being recognized as they'll see my game name, and then they'll call me by my real name, even though I have absolutely no idea where they were. We were at a tournament in Detroit. Yeah. And there was a spectator watching from the big screen in the other room, because they usually try and separate them, that was shouting at my name and telling me that I was a baddie. I think that's what he used, baddie. And I was just terrible and that I shouldn't be gaming. But one thing you have to make sure is when you competitively game, regardless of how good you are at anything, someone will always make fun of you. So try not to get too butthurt.